So this numbnuts over here decided to show us how smart he is today during an event. I'm Alex, this is my rant. Out of all the ridiculous ideas that he was spewing, one thing caught my attention, and it was when he talks about the cost of housing for Americans. Listen.
Thing more important, I believe, and it connects both to the economic issues, but it also connects to basic public safety, like Kamala Harris's wide open border. Because if you think about it, why have housing costs gotten so high? There are two basic reasons. Number one, Kamala Harris made it harder in this country to build homes, and she made it so that our interest rates shot through the roof. There are a lot of Democrats celebrating right now that they lowered interest rates by 0.5%. But interest rates have gone up about 6% thanks to Kamala Harris's policy. That's number one, why housing prices are so high. The second reason that housing is so high is because we let in 25 million illegal aliens to compete against Americans for scarce homes. And here's the thing, when you take the same number of houses and you bring 25 million people who shouldn't even be here and you force Americans to compete against those 25 million, then that's going to drive up the cost of housing for everybody. We got to get those illegal aliens out of here and secure our border, and that's the best thing that we can do to bring back housing affordability.
So you see, he's blaming it on two things, and he actually says it's two factors that increased it. No other factor, just those two factors. Keep that in mind. One of them is that apparently the vice president has the power to call the Fed and say, hey, go ahead and increase the percentages. The reason why the Fed has been unbiased and impartial for decades is because it's one of those things that it needs to work away from politics to ensure that we have a prosperous economy. So he doesn't understand that part. And it makes sense because this is the party that is looking to become dictators in the next time around. Second of all, he says that the influx of immigrants coming to the United States has increased the cost of housing. Therefore, Americans have to pay more and they have to compete with illegal migrants who just came in. That within itself there's a lot to unpack there. One of them, illegal or legal migrants, when they just come here, they don't buy a house. They don't have the credit, they don't have the money. And if that was the case, we would be in a crisis worse than 2008, if that was actually true. Second of all, we have a labor shortage. Who the hell you think builds those houses? You think it's a low middle class Americans that just wake up in the morning, go into a little car? It's not the Flintstones, bro. It's the migrants. The migrants are the ones that build it. The same way that this country was built on the back of slaves is being built on the back of migrants. So don't act like you don't know that, because you know it. And your boss certainly knows it because he's been summoned a couple of times and even fined for hiring illegal Polish migrants. And the last part of that is we have a labor shortage. Either he doesn't want to accept that or he doesn't understand what that means. And if you kick all the immigrants out and you want to increase the income of the American people, who's going to work those jobs? If you're going to start paying people $50 an hour for building houses, then your cost of housing is going to skyrocket like crazy. So it doesn't even make sense. And the fact that I'm trying to make it make sense is making my head hurt. So that's beyond the point. Now, what this tells me, and it worries me, is that we're choosing between two things. Either him and Trump are too stupid to understand how government and economics work, or they know how it works and they're just gaslighting the crap out of people. I'm going to be more inclined towards gaslighting, although this guy studied philosophy and Trump cannot even put a sentence together. So it might be that they're dumb enough. It could be that that's what it is. I'm Alex and I'm out.